this story I mentioned yesterday, and pretty important, and also some good news. Yesterday, the Daily News reported that the New York Police Department's stop and frisk policy, or at least one element of it, has been ruled unconstitutional by a Manhattan federal court judge. Shira Scheindlin, the Manhattan federal court judge, or one of them, ordered police to refrain from making trespass stops outside private residential buildings, even if the landlord has given officers permission to do so as part of NYPD's Clean Halls program. Now, again, a lot of this stuff we've got to see in light of the mounting evidence, and I think in some respects unequivocal evidence, that one of the major factors, if not the major factor, in the diminishing of crime in New York City, as well as around the country and in many respects the world, was a function of getting lead out of our atmosphere. All of these programs that the NYPD engages in, that emanated out of the broken windows policy of the early 90s, is premised on the notion that this type of extremely aggressive pre-crime police work, if you will, is the reason why crime has gone down in this city. And if that's not the case, the justification for this stuff, aside from the fact that it's probably unconstitutional, the justification from it falls away. The judge wrote in an 157-page ruling, while it may be difficult to say when precisely to draw the line between constitutional and unconstitutional police encounters, such a line exists, and the NYPD has systemically crossed it when making trespass stops outside of buildings. And essentially, what the cops do is in about 8,000 buildings citywide, according to the New York City Civil Liberties Union, you've got cops who stop and frisk kids, teens, outside of buildings, just to make sure that if they're going in or out, that they're up to no bad, I guess. And this is, again, we've talked about stop and frisk on this program many times, but, contemplate the idea of being a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, and knowing that you're going to get stopped by the cops on a regular basis and frisked just for being essentially a black teenager. And it's not just sort of the, hey, Billy, how you doing? Would you mind going up against the wall there so I can just pat you down? Great to see you. How's French class going? I mean, can you imagine, think about your life. If you were trained to believe that you were a suspect from a very young age, how would that implicate the rest of your life? How would that not change what you perceive to be your opportunities in this world? So good for this judge, and I hope the whole policy basically gets thrown out the window. I think it's the devastation that it wreaks on the psychology of these kids, I think, can't be underestimated. So good for this judge, and I hope we see more rulings like this.